Hey everybody, so welcome to your astronomy lab course. Now, you probably have seen the intro video for your astronomy lecture course, but this is the lab. So I'm just going to talk about the lab. Okay, just as in the astronomy lecture course, we use our Moodle site for all the activities of the lab. Okay, so remember that's moodle.randolphcollege.edu, and you log in with the first part of your Randolph email. For instance, mine is kshank@randolphcollege.edu, which means that I would log in as kshank, and then I would put my Randolph College email password in there. Okay, that's how you get onto your Moodle site. And if you're taking multiple classes, you'll see them listed. Okay, so this go through our Moodle page for the lab class. All right. Now you will be getting a lab kit within the first couple of weeks of class. You don't need it for the first couple of labs. All right. So first there's going to be, this is also the instructor view, which is going to look a little different. There'll be a link to this video. There's a calendar that I suggest that you print out. You don't have to print it out in color, but you can print it out so you know when everything's due, etc. So things in green are the suggested dates to start doing the lab or to finish it, right? And then these things are due on basically a few days later. So look at lab 1, and lab 1 here is due on a few days later. So if you started it here on Thursday, right, it would be due on the 30th of May here on a Tuesday. Okay. Now, these sometimes say informal and some say formal. Don't worry too much about the difference. You won't really notice the difference. Okay, it's more for my grading purposes. All right. Now we have many labs. So we go from 1 to 8. No, sorry, 1 to 9. 1 to 9. So we have 9 labs. One of them is a lab you should be doing for pretty much the entire course, and that is the Moon Project lab. Okay, that is not something you do in a couple of days. You're going to spend the rest of the time filling in things for that Moon Project. So that's going to be open right away for you to look at. You should go look at it and get started. Okay, that's not due till way down here at the end of class, the very last day of what we call our finals period. Okay. All right, so this is just the schedule that you should pay attention to. Now, there's, of course, a Zoom conferencing link for office hours, my contact. I prefer texts over email, but please email. I check my email all the time. But if it's long and complicated, obviously, you probably want to email me. Text, I prefer text to calls. Again, if you text me at 11 p.m., probably not going to get back to you until the morning. All right. There is a tutor for the class, so avail yourselves of that free tutoring. Okay. All right, so each lab will have a little section like this. Okay, and what you'll see is different activities. This lab has several activities to do that are part of the same lab and a question for them. Each one of these is either a something you hand in, something you're going to have to scan, or a quiz. So a little check mark means a quiz. This means something to hand in. And then, for instance, lab 2, you have a manual for lab 2 and you have a pre-lab. Okay, so the pre-labs are due at different times than the lab. So if we go back up to the calendar, you can see that lab 2 pre, lab 1 does not have a pre-lab. Lab 2 pre is due here the night before, generally the night before the lab, you should start the lab. Here, because of Memorial Day, things are shifted. Okay. But the lab, all the due dates are here on Moodle. So do the pre-lab and then this formal report, which means that you're filling out stuff, right? A lot of our labs are simulations to help you learn the material. And then, of course, the Moon Project is down here it will be open by the time you see this Moodle page. And the due date is slightly different here. It's June 30th, but you should start this. That's one warning that you should go in, take a look at it. There's some videos to introduce you to it. Print it out, get started. Okay, as you're doing this other stuff. All right, so I hope that's clear. There's, like I said, 9 labs. These will all be open by the time you come in, probably. You can do them at your own pace, but they do have due dates, right? So you could sit down and do all of this in a week if you really, really wanted to, although the Moon Project, actually, you can't, right? because actually you're looking at the moon and how it changes. Okay. But so it's really go at your own pace, but there are deadlines that you shouldn't miss. Okay. All right. Well, I hope that helps. And I hope you have a good time in lab. And we'll see you in class.